everybody, welcome to another Buddy Reviews. Today we're going to be checking out the Shekkin Slingster. But before that, we got to talk about the next Kinetic Impact Airsoft event. It is called Odin's Trial, Thor vs. Loki. It will be at D14, November 9th. That's a Sunday. It's a one-day no-sim event. Definitely come out. You will enjoy it. Use my code MUDDY at the link in the description below. You'll get $5 off your admission. I hope to see you out there. Let's get on to the product. So this is one of our bringbacks from our trip to Japan we had in May. Awesome trip. Got a lot of great stuff. And I got this from a shop called Mill Freaks. I will put a link to their website as well as directions to their store in Tokyo in the description below in a link, as well as a link to the short that I filmed in their shop in Tokyo. Fantastic store. If you're ever in the area, you got to check them out. The Slingster copy from Shekkin is a very faithful reproduction of a Ferro Concepts Slingster. I have a real Slingster right here. This is one of their Ferro Concepts Tiger Stripe Slingsters, and it is a fantastic sling. I love the color. You got Ferro's little logo right there. So Shekkin kind of did a similar style, but they did not pass this off as a Ferro item, and I like that. I don't mind repros. Sometimes they come with trademarks, and it's whatever. I don't go out of my way to get trademarks on my repros because they're repros. They're not actual items, and I don't want them being passed off as such. Anyway, the Shekkin AOR1 Slingster copy is good. It feels very much like an actual Slingster. The pads are... I'm sorry, I got one hand, guys. I had surgery on my shoulder, and I'm just finally recovered, kind of getting recovered enough to start filming content again. So bear with me. You're only going to see the one hand, and it might be a little sloppy as I'm trying to show you stuff. So the pads are damn near the same identical width, except this AOR1 pad, just like looks like a tenth of an inch wider. It's not a whole lot wider. Now, that could be because this is copied off of an older design, possibly, or they're just a little wider because they're a little wider. I don't know which. I know the Slingsters have grown a lot and kind of changed over the years, so I'm not sure if the older pads were a little wider. I know a lot of other repros, the pads are even wider than that, like the Krydex, which I've talked about in a Krydex video review of their copy of the Slingster. I'll put a card if you want to see it. But pretty much, very good copy. Very good quality. Stitching on this guy is good. They do a good job on their stitching. If you look at the Ferro, oh, the taper is a little thinner on this Ferro as well. But they got the same kind of just big straight stitch. Their taper is a little wider, but it's the same stitching. The color is good. Let's get the real Ferro out. Oh, no, hold on. Before we get the real Ferro out of here, I got to talk about this hardware right here. So this is your adjustment hardware. On the Shekkin, it's glossier, and their pull is a little looser, a little softer material. On the real Ferro, it's a much more matte finish on their pull, and then they do have Ferro logoing right here, which they don't have on the Shekkin, and this is a little stiffer, this grab piece, but not by a lot. The springiness of their pull is very, very springy. The Shekkin is a little less springy. It's got a little more slop to it. So that's something I did notice. It doesn't really affect how I change the sling around or move the sling around, but it is there. That's something to note. So the color of the Shekkin is pretty decent. I've got an actual Ferro pouch right here from Eagle Industries. This is one of their FB like rifle pouches with the lid cut off. And as you can see, it's a little older, but the coloration is pretty good. Sorry, like I said, one hand. It's not horrid. And the webbing, it's a little dirtier, but it's very close. I would say these tans in the Shekkin are a little brighter than the tans I see in real AOR1. And you see that in Shekkin's AOR1 pouches as well. This like tan here is just a tad bit bronzier in the Shekkin repros than it is in real AOR1. But it is a good AOR1, all things considered. The webbing is actually really nice webbing. It is solution dyed digital webbing. It feels just like the mil-spec webbing that Ferro uses. It doesn't. I think this might be the same specification. I don't think it's real AOR1, but it does feel good. Hardware does not seem very bad. It actually seems pretty good. The tri-glides feel and look a lot like ITW. Now, ITW is a little better, but it is what it is. When you buy one of these, you're going to get clips with it, and they are a little shiny, just like the other hardware, and they are not terrible. A little loosey-goosey there. Oh, that's not the right one. Sorry. It's this one. A little loosey-goosey. It's funny enough they say USA on them right here. I don't know why, but these are real ITW. You can see they've got oh, that's why, because the real ITW says USA right there, but that's got their W. But these are real ITW HK hooks, and the spring mechanism is much better. This mechanism piece here doesn't want to like shift left or right, where this mechanism piece has a little bit of left and right travel to it. So that means this will probably give out a lot faster than this. If you do use HK clips, HK hooks, I recommend you grab yourself a pair of real ITWs off the internet and just swap them out. It's not an expensive switch out, and it's worth it to give you a better clip. I personally like to use QDs, so it kind of negates the whole issue. I just take them off. Each sling is open-ended, as you see right here. It's not sewn down, so you can take the hardware off, just like a real Ferro, which I do like. I think it's a nice touch. And then, hold on. This hardware has actually a logo on it. I never noticed before. Do I get my eyes to adjust? It says something flex 25 millimeter. Can't seem to get my eyes to focus on that. I'm getting old. I think it's UTX flex. So, I don't know. Better than super cheap Chinese stuff, I guess. So that's kind of cool. Overall, though, I think it's a good product. It's going to hold your gun, which we want it to. It doesn't feel like it's going to snap and break and fall apart before you get to actually use it for what it needs to be used for. Just like a real Ferro, length is the same as a real Ferro. It's a good sling. I like it. I have not had a lot of Shekkin stuff. I've got a small amount of Shekkin stuff now that I've been collecting over the last year to mess with and review, and this is the first one of many Shekkin reviews to come. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. I hope you got something out of this video and this review of the Shekkin Slingster in AOR1. If you're a dude that is trying to make a dev group kit, maybe look into one of these. It'll look good on your stuff. It won't break the bank for like a real Ferro, which I've seen those go for like $800+ on the internet, which is ridiculous. Other than that, LARP smarter, not harder. This is definitely LARPing a little smarter, not harder, because it's going to save you some scratch. Hope I'll see you on the field. Peace. Oh, God, I'm going to die. Edit that out.